Oh, it says there's an error. Is there something else I should have done?
I don't know, I've never run it.
Error.
Is it working?
Oh, I think
It's
you got it.
counting. It's
It looks like you're up.
yeah. I don't know. I don't know.
It won't
It's-
be the end of the world if we're not.
Yeah.
It looks like you're on.
It's just easier for me to edit that than having to take it off the card.
Mm-hmm.
How are you, girl? I have got a lot of caffeine, so I'm super. Yeah.
Emily, there's 5 separate documents. Did they all make it down to you?
1, 2, 3. I have 4.
You should have 2 pages of.
Beautiful. Yep, I have 5. Thank you.
Do you need an agenda?
If you got a spare, I'll
I
take
think
one.
we do.
Yeah.
If you don't,
Well, guys, papers here.
thank you.
All right, I'll go ahead and call the meeting to order. Approval of the minutes, March the 4th. Did everyone get a chance to look at those? No. No.
March 4th, that's,
That was seems so long ago.
I know.
So much has happened.
Yeah. Everybody was here at that meeting.
Looks good to me.
Okay, I'll need a motion to.
I'll make a motion that we approve minutes.
A second. Any more discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Okay, old business. The Madison TV 15 budget. You should have that in front of you. As of right now, I think we have $22,226.35. So I had them print a copy off for me or send that in an email so we could look at possibly purchasing some equipment. And the city gives us $1,000 a month, right?
I believe.
And then do the commissioners also, how does that, or the county,
I think they give theirs in a chunk,
like we did?
like you all did.
Okay.
But I don't know that to be the case.
So this is the amount we have right now?
Yes.
Okay, and then at one point we had quotes, right, or we were getting quotes on new?
So I have,
Yeah,
when we
I
passed
got
this
your.
down, we looked at this at the last, we didn't get to have our last meeting, but I had it, because we didn't have enough, and Lori had gave that to me, so.
I gave this to Debbie. I just purchased this exact kit.
Mhm.
And if you watch the Hanover board meeting from the other day, it was shot on that camera. And it's working really well. I'm really happy with it. And I think it's got enough bells and whistles to do some really cool stuff. And it comes with a couple extra lenses. So it's like it has a wide angle lens. So if you're in a room that's kind of tight and you can't get back far enough, then you can pop that on there. It also has a more telephoto lens that you could put on. But it's simple enough that we could train somebody that doesn't have a lot of experience to use the basics
Okay.
too.
So would we need to purchase more than one though?
Yes,
How many would we need to purchase?
at least 2.
At least 2?
Okay. And that's under new business coming up. So, rebranding cable TV 15, has that committee met?
No, No, the one time we were supposed to meet, nobody showed up with me. So, we do need to have another meeting.
Okay.
I have a suggestion on what we should call it.
Okay.
I think we should just call it Jefferson County Community Television and for short, JCCTV. That is a little bit broader, includes the whole community, not just Madison.
Jefferson County
Community Television.
Television.
That is my suggestion, but I don't have any ideas on like logos or anything. So that if we decided to go with something like that, we would need to come up with some ideas and maybe get someone to work on a logo for us.
So I think I think the whole point, or one of the big pieces that the public brought to us when we talked about that rebranding committee, is that the public would like more insight to what's happening, right? Because when we said, hey, what do you think of this? They're like, we don't really know what it is. So I like this suggestion, and I think when this, hopefully, we can reach out to this group again and say, hey, we need to get something booked to have a meeting. But I think we bring up this idea and maybe have like one or two other suggestions, and then if we put it out to the community, then they get to kind of have a say in that too, because I think that's an important piece that we've maybe been missing. That would just be my suggestion. But I do think that's a good idea, and I think that there are a lot of talented individuals in town that would be happy to work with us on creating a logo, probably at a discounted rate or something. So I can pull some of those contacts that we have from the chamber too, and then if other people know people as well.
Right.
So maybe with that, what we do, I know it's old business, but maybe what we do is, I feel like you and I are kind of tag teaming that. So we reach out via email and try to get something scheduled by the end of May as a get together, what's next steps. And then that way at our next meeting, we'll at least have an update of, this is what we talked about, this is where we're headed. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
I agree with that. I will tell you that right now I'm kind of in the weeds because I'm teaching May term
Okay.
and also trying to do my regular stuff
Okay.
and also covering stuff for the channel here. So I will be a lot more free to work on things once commencement is passed.
Okay, so maybe we need to decide if we want to wait till after May, or, because nobody's schedules are gonna be perfect.
Well, I mean, I'm like her. May is just with the college. I'm teaching a lot of CPR classes, and I know I'm not part of the committee, but I'm thinking that maybe we all should meet on this since it's hard to get everybody here.
Yeah.
So I think maybe let's schedule something the 1st of June and
Like maybe a working meeting.
a working meeting, yes, because I think there's 2 or 3 things that we need to kind of work on. A budget, like Jim said, you know, we need to work on a budget for what we want as far as salaries for the camera operators. We're getting ready to discuss insurance. I mean, there's a lot of things that we need to really look at. So I think maybe if we just have a work session with all of us.
Is that agreeable to you?
I'll do whatever. I just think that if, because I mean, this is something that we can talk about as a community, but we need to get something rolling, right?
Oh,
So-
I agree.
So then maybe we schedule, so June, because it sounds like schedules are more open, and then whoever can come, if it's a party of 3, then it's a party of 3. And
Exactly.
we'll start working on it. Okay, I like it.
And we can go ahead and make that meet, or go ahead and schedule that tonight,
Okay.
so we'll have it.
Because it started June, correct? Is that what we're
Yes.
going for? Okay.
Like June the
So
3rd is
June,
okay.
yeah, June the 3rd is gonna be our regular tab, so would we wanna stay afterwards for a work session? Since we're already here?
Can we order pizza?
Huh?
Can we order pizza?
Sure, pizza night.
Or hamburgers? We got a hamburger place right across the way.
Yeah,
Okay,
we could,
so let's do
Bring
that.
your own peanut butter and jelly sandwich.
yeah.
By that time, I'll be ready for something more than that.
Okay, so let's just,
That works.
So the 3rd of June is our regular meeting.
so let's have our regular meeting from, let's say we'll go into a work session at 7. 30 minutes should give us plenty of time for the meeting. and then we'll just go into a work session then at 7. Cause we'll have to post that.
Okay. Okay with me.
Do you wanna start earlier, like have this meeting at 6? Does that work for people?
Looks good for me.
It would be fine for me, yeah.
Yeah, let's do that.
You wanna do that? So start the regular meeting at 6,
Okay?
and then,
Then go into 6:30 at work session.
yeah,
Okay? Yep, good idea, Stephanie. And then if everybody can kind of send Jim, like, I mean, we're gonna work on a name, we're gonna look at, what did I just say we were gonna look at?
Well,
The budget,
yeah, we need to develop a budget.
right. And if there's anything else, you know, that you think that we might need to touch on, then just shoot it to him. That way we can kind of have an agenda and stay on track.
Will we need to post both of these as separate meetings then?
Yes, one would be,
Okay.
6 o'clock will be our regular session, and then at 6:30 would be our work session. All right, any other old business? We'll move on to new business, insurance.
So I've handed everybody some paperwork regarding insurance. I do not at this point have quotes from either the existing insurance company or a competitive quote, but I'm working on getting both. But a few points of note. I have a opinion from Joe Jenner that our respective governmental entities cover us for D&O so long as we're functioning in this role, because we are appointed by them. However, our camera folks do not currently have any workman's comp. Normally, what you do with a independent contractor, and again, this is a opinion from Joe, is that you would have them certify that they have their own workman's comp insurance. Well, we know that's not gonna happen with the folks that we're hiring at $25 a meeting. So, I will make sure that I get workman's comp quotes included in the bids that I get from the insurance companies. Our regular insurance, our current insurance is through Assured Partners rather, out of Louisville. And then I have a local company working on giving me a bid as well. One interesting thing that came to light, and I haven't had a chance to pursue it, is that we have insurance on equipment located up on Brentwood Drive. Does anybody have any concept why we would have equipment located on Brentwood Drive?
I don't even know where Brentwood Drive
It's
is.
top of Michigan Hill. So with that, I like to say, that's one of the things I still need to dig into.
Is that where Aaron lives?
No,
No.
he's in Hanover.
So what is at this location?
It's a residence. My hunch, and it's only a hunch, because again, I haven't had a chance to confirm it, is that may be a piece of the insurance that dates back to the early days before equipment was downstairs, and it's just never been updated. That's a hunch. That's only a hunch. But I will dig into that, and hopefully by the working meeting, I'll have more information there.
Do you know where Dennis Crank lived?
I do not know that.
That's the only other
Yeah.
person I would know that would have a name
Right.
on anything.
And that may in fact be the case. But again, hopefully I'll know have that information by the next meeting. It caught my eye, I found that very interesting.
Well, I think it's pretty safe to say that any of that equipment, if it still exists, is probably so old that we probably don't need to be insuring it.
Well, and I mean, I tend to agree with you, but prior to making a change in the policy, I want to make sure what we're dealing with. It's also a point of note, currently we have $32,534 in equipment insurance, property insurance, if you will, on unscheduled property with a $500 deductible. So cameras, etc., currently are amply covered, but as we make upgrades, we may need to look at this number.
Does that also include like the electronics unit and all that?
I'm
stuff?
sure that, it's unscheduled, so it's any equipment that we have.
Okay.
And that is the only equipment coverage that we have. So, and of course, we do have business level liability insurance. So that's what I know at this point, and that's an exploration that continues.
Does anybody have any questions or comments? Thanks for checking all that out.
Well, it's not done yet.
Well, thanks for working on that. Next, hiring more camera operators.
Yes, please.
So, we have one just right now?
We just have one right now. I mean, I wanted my son to do it because he already knows how to do everything, but he decided he didn't want to do it because he's, I don't know. I
I know
have.
you covered some of the meetings.
Yeah, I did your meeting,
Yeah.
And one other, the Madison, I've done Madison Board of Education and Southwestern, I think. I have my niece, she wants to do it, but I just haven't had, I've only trained her one time, and I'm kind of waiting until if we get new equipment, to just train her on the new equipment, because every camera's different, and it's
Right.
just kind of wasting our money for me to keep training her if it's on something that we're not gonna be using.
Emily, you kind of did an outline for an ad, didn't you?
Yeah, I did a whole job description, but I never heard back. Well, Stephanie emailed me back and said it was good, but I don't think we ever
didn't
posted
see
it. I sent a group email. It was probably about like a month.
Oh, yeah.
In March. Yeah.
I think I finally found it in my junk. For some reason, it went into my junk email.
Maybe that's what happened.
That-
Yeah, because they put that new filter out there and,
Yeah.
but when I did look at it, I thought it looked good, so, I mean, can we put that on our Madison CD15 website?
Yeah,
Because it'd be nice to have at least 4.
Yep, and somebody
we could also put it on Facebook.
Yeah.
asked me about it, and didn't I, at the last meeting we had, that
You said that somebody at school.
somebody came into my shop and was talking about it, and I said, we decided to have him email Lori, he had just email you.
I don't remember seeing anything.
Oh.
Do you know what his name was? I could search in my email, and maybe I just overlooked it.
I forget, yeah.
Well, if you think of it,
Yeah.
text me or
I
something.
will. He was at the, he's at the high school, and it's like his dream job, and I said, oh, I got a deal for you.
Wow.
And, so I called and said, here's what you need to do.
Okay.
And probably on that ad, we need to contact Lori, because she'd be the one kind of training them.
Yeah, I think it was on it, maybe not. I'll find it.
Thank you.
Does she need a motion to move forward with that ad?
Yes.
Then I'll make that motion.
Is there a
that
second?
we Post an ad.
Oh, to post it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I second that. Post the ad, get these people in, come on, come on, come on.
Any more discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
next purchasing of the cameras, so did everyone get a chance to look at?
Here's the paper, if you want to look at it.
I think that, what I wrote in the top was the total price, right?
It's,
I think that was for everything that,
it's for, is it, that's for one, right?
yes,
Yeah, and we need to,
but that was for the extra items also,
yes.
yes.
And we might, did that also include like an extra SD card?
Probably not.
I couldn't remember, because I ordered an extra.
Well, I don't, where you had, you print off,
Yeah,
okay.
right there.
What was the dollar figure?
$2,396.19 for its camera. It has a LED light that can go on the camera, 2 lenses, a camera bag. It comes with a couple batteries, the extra batteries and a charger. And it also comes with a charger that you can plug into your car, which could come in really handy if you're out in the field. I'm trying to think, it comes with some filters for your lenses. The case, and cables for different things. It's a really nice kit.
And that dollar figure one more time.
2396.19.
So with 2 of them, it'd be $4,792.38.
And I think that, if whoever's taking the camera out, if they're just going to a meeting, if they wanna use the smaller bags, we can, that the little cameras are in right now, we could take some of those dividers out and they can just take that so they don't have to take a bigger case. But that bigger case is really nice if you want to, like if we were covering like the fair or something. You have a lot of options there.
So what are we using now?
My stuff,
Your stuff?
yeah.
We was actually using the college. So she-
Where are the Madison TV 15 cameras?
I have them, but they are terrible. I've looked at them, they're very grainy.
The quality's awful.
It's the sound of that. They're like cameras you would buy to shoot your kids' birthday parties if you wanted really bad footage. They're terrible.
Just
I mean,
kids.
especially because now, I mean, you can shoot things with your phone that's better than those cameras.
Oh my, are they
Yeah.
really old?
I don't know how old they are. They're just really poor quality.
So I guess that,
I
There's-
couldn't begin to tell you how old they are.
so I guess that brings up the next question though. So if we, to be very frank, this is a lot less expensive than I thought it might be, but I don't know anything about cameras. My second question being, what's the lifespan, right? So if we purchase them now, like how, just a rough estimate from knowing this type of thing, how long should these last us if they're looked for and cared for?
Years.
Forever.
Well, I just didn't
Well,
know,
not
right?
forever, but
because-
years.
Right, the ones that we're replacing, if they're grainy, I didn't know if it was because we just didn't purchase a high quality,
Yeah.
or if they just kind of, okay,
I
that's,
think
okay,
they're probably budget items.
okay.
See, here's the thing, if, this is my recommendation, we keep the little cameras, and if somebody wants to borrow cameras, that's what we let them borrow, those little cameras. These cameras are for our production. Because if we send these out just to anybody, they'll come back wrecked. And then we'll be back to the same situation. The other nice thing about this camera is it has XLR inputs, so you can put wireless mics on them, whatever, to get better sound. And that's what we
We
need.
just need it, yes.
And Emily,
Yeah,
I would suggest that part of what happens here with a camera of this quality is, in all probability, the technology will move away from the camera before the cameras
okay,
fail on us.
okay,
That's what I would anticipate.
Well, I know our big Sonys that we use at the college, we have an older set, and we've been using those since like, 2010. And they still have beautiful pictures, but I will tell you, that we've had some problems with them, but it's because we have all these students and some of them are more careful with them than
Yeah.
others. And so hopefully by really training our camera people, we can avoid problems with them.
And the microphone you said is really good on this one, right?
Yeah, yeah. The onboard mic was really good. I was able to go inside the menu and boost the recording sound for your meeting. Because I haven't had enough time, I've been so busy, I haven't had enough time to play with mine enough to know how to set some of the things up yet. But hopefully next time I can have an external mic sitting on a table like we did before. So,
And two does make sense because we do find ourselves with multiple meetings going at the same time in different locations.
yeah. we just
So-
have two camera. But I would like, if I'm gonna have to cover a meeting, I would like to be able to use the equipment that the board owns
Absolutely.
rather than my own stuff.
Yeah.
You
Absolutely.
know?
Yep.
So, do we need a motion? We need a motion to
Oh,
move
definitely,
forward.
yeah.
So
Yeah.
I would move that we purchase 2 camera kits as laid out by Lori.
Okay. I need a second.
My second.
Okay, and that total is gonna be $4,792.38. Is there any more discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
And are you gonna have them sent here?
Well, I'm gonna let you get with, the office here,
Okay.
because,
The practice as laid out in the interlocal agreement is that we submit basically a purchase order to the city, who then has it approved by the Board of Public Works, and then a purchase order is cut to get it ordered.
Okay.
So
This was
we'll have to
through
work with
Amazon,
Rick
so-
to get that
yeah, they
accomplished.
should be able to do that.
Exciting.
Yes, it is.
I don't see why they couldn't do anything.
Okay, getting surveys out for public input. We talked about that. I think that's something that we probably need to work on in our work session to figure out what kind of questions we want to ask.
Yeah, yeah, because, you know, Aaron did one. They didn't have much of a response.
What, 30 some people respond?
Yeah.
I think if we're not too in a hurry to get this survey back, I think that would be a really good thing to do at the fair. If we can get a booth. And I don't know if it's something that, does the chamber have a booth at the fair?
I don't know.
I don't think so.
I was gonna say if we could find another organization that has a booth that they would let us split the cost or something. Maybe we could set up like a half a booth and have people, as long as we don't ask them 20 questions, you know.
When is the
People-
fair?
It's like the week after
In July.
Regatta. It's usually like the week or the week after that.
So I like that idea. So I guess maybe flipping that of, depending upon how quick we could get this out and how good we feel about it, if we could get it out and give people a month, then we could use the fair to promote whatever the new name is and like let people know about it.
Right.
Well,
Good
that's
idea.
an
Yeah.
option too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't know, but I
Well,
think it depends what we ask and.
And if we did that, if we got things going, got things moving and up and running and say, look, here it is, then at the fair, say, look, here we are, here's this new thing, and give them information on what we are at that point in time and say, what would you like to see? And do the survey then, and because we can change things.
Sure.
So maybe, because I agree with Emily that I think we should get things going,
I
let's
agree,
move, you
yeah.
know?
I have a question, one of the reasons why we're putting things on the Hanover channel is because the electronics equipment down there is out of date.
That's my understanding.
So that needs to be addressed before we relaunch.
Yes, because it has to be launched on our channel.
So, did Eric give you that information
Eric gave me information, which I don't have with me,
about the cost, on what
on-
we got?
a unit.
Okay,
I presume it's the unit you all have, but I don't know that.
I will try to get that for sure. You work on it too, because you see him as probably as much as I do.
Mm-hmm.
So between the two of us, maybe we can get that quote. But he did tell me that the guy said it would be the same as what the college quote was. I just don't remember what it was.
Mm-hmm. And nor do I. Nor do
So, but I know our program, our system works pretty well. We had some bugs in it for a while, but it was like an update thing. And after he updated it and everything, it works really great. I don't have any problem with it. I'm still trying to figure out how to do the program guide, but that's just my dumbness. I'm sure it's something really simple that it's not quite clicking in the old brain, but you're supposed to be able to put like a daily program thing that comes up during the PowerPoint that says what's going to be airing that day. And I just never have had a chance to spend some time researching how to make that look nice. But I will try to do that before the summer is over so that when we open ours, we can hit the ground running.
Yeah.
And, yeah.
Well, I have another question now that this leads to, if we get the new equipment to be able to run TV 15 on channel 15, where are we gonna put it?
Downstairs, I thought.
What's the deal with that?
That's, frankly, we've not been having that discussion for a bit.
Yeah, I think that's another discussion we
That's-
need to have with the
that's-
city.
Yeah, that's an open discussion right
Yeah.
now.
All right, well, doesn't everything hinge on that?
That piece hinges on it.
That piece?
Now, the idea of us live streaming, which we're doing in many cases, and using Facebook Live, we're doing that now.
Mhm.
So we are getting the meetings out there in the public. They're just not on the cable channel. So that's a discussion we need to have moving forward.
Right. I think we need to sit down with the mayor and one of his comments, you know, when all of this took place was as long as we are moving forward and things are, you know, moving in a good manner, that, you know, that he would work with us. So I think, you know, we all need to sit down and have a discussion again and see if, you know, we can keep the equipment there. Cause I mean, if we can't keep the equipment there, we're not gonna be able to do this.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
Because we can't afford it.
Right.
Right.
Why would we spend almost $5,000 on equipment and then not know if we can keep?
Well, we
Well,
can
we can
still,
still
Well,
put that out.
The cameras we need to properly do the live streaming
Right,
that we're doing today.
like putting them on Facebook and
Oh,
stuff
right.
like that. We don't need the system downstairs to do that part,
Right.
but,
But they will also be utilized at some point when we're live back on cable channels. Those same cameras will be effective for that portion of the project as well.
Yeah, but I'm saying,
But you're absolutely right. We
Right.
need to nail down the location and the finances associated with that prior to purchasing replacement for the electronics equipment.
right.
yeah, Because it's
Which
my
is a
understanding, this
big
isn't
chunk.
just a little box you can plug into the wall and you're done.
No,
You
no,
need
no.
wiring, you need connections, you need, you know.
Well, I think that it just, when they came into our facility, they took out what was there and they basically plugged in back what, the new stuff in the same spot and hooked it all together. But, you're right, we do need to know if we're gonna be able to stay down there
Right.
or not. And if we're not, where do we wanna go from there? How do we wanna proceed?
How do we pay for where we wanna go?
Well, I
Yeah.
mean, maybe, if we can't stay downstairs, if the mayor decides, no, I've changed my mind, you guys aren't moving fast enough, or whatever, then maybe, we might have to look at becoming totally online for a while. Because right now, we can't afford to pay rent.
Right,
We've already determined that.
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
So maybe that's something during our working meeting, we come up with a plan of, if we get to stay in this location, what do those numbers look like? If we don't, what are some options, what can we afford, what can't we afford?
Right.
And then I think we'll also have more information about kind of what our thought process on our name, what's our plan, how do we want to roll that out. Then we ask the mayor to have a meeting, and
Right.
then he can make whatever decision he feels is appropriate, and then we kind of at least have a pathway both directions, so we're not like starting all over again.
Sounds good.
Okay.
And along with that, part of that discussion, I think, includes what can our programming look like with regards to city, county, Hanover, aside from just putting meetings on the air.
I would agree.
Because there's so much going on in this county with all three entities, and frankly, we haven't been in a position to do justice
Right.
to those events in terms of putting them on the air for the general public. And I think that's part of our task. Maybe not with regards to our cable licensing, but at least with regards to what the three entities are expecting of us.
I would agree.
Yeah.
One thing that I do need somebody to help me with, because I'm not sure how to set this up, is we had decided that we wanted to start a YouTube channel for our
Right.
TV station.
Uh-huh.
And we still haven't done that, so, I
Let me
need
have
some-
that discussion with, again, with Eric, because he's done that for me at the church.
I
So
just don't
I'll
know,
have-
I think, isn't it hooked up or attached to like an email or something like that? So, I just need to know, we need to attach it to our email, I guess is what I'm saying. And
Probably.
I'm not really sure how to go about doing that myself,
Mhm. Nor am I.
but we need to get that done, because that would be another, because a lot of people that would be watching our programming may not be on Facebook.
Right, well, that would give people a centralized place to go.
Yeah. Sounds good.
So can we add that to the work session
Yes.
or maybe if you're talking to Eric, maybe you can see if he can help me get that.
Absolutely.
I don't even know if I'm an administrator for that, or that I can do that.
Emily, you have all that information, don't you?
No.
I have all the passwords for everything, I think.
I think you gave us the passwords,
It was
but
all
I just
printed
didn't know,
out.
if I could do it,
Yeah.
just go do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, there wasn't a YouTube channel,
But we have an email,
but we do have an email.
so you could use that email.
So is that okay, if I can figure out how to do it, is that okay with everybody if I just go ahead and set one up?
Yeah.
Do we need a motion to that? Or is it just like, do it?
Well, consensus wise, I think we all agree. But
If we need a motion, I'll make it.
go ahead.
So I move that we move forward in establishing a YouTube channel.
A second.
Give Lori the permission to go ahead and do it.
Yeah, a second. Give Lori the permission to use that email to set up a YouTube channel. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Because I needed something else to do.
I know, that's great. What else can we give her to do? Oh.
All right, so looks like we have a lot for the June the 3rd meeting, so. Anybody else have anything for tonight?
No, we're waiting to hear back on insurance. Yeah, I think we need to get that camera operator's ad out
Yeah,
ASAP.
I agree. All right, if we don't have anything else, I entertain a motion for adjournment.
I'll make that motion.
Entertains me. I second.
All right, all those in favor?
Aye.
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 I had a hockey game to watch. New York, New York.
I got another meeting to go to.
It's funny because when I was doing the sports journalism class, I had a couple of students that were like really interested in
Thank
hockey.
you.
Yeah.
You're lovely. I didn't come out and talk to your class.
Board meeting.
Oh, it's like, it's too much to cover a hockey game, but hockey's hard to cover. It's so fast.
Oh my gosh. I shot
What,
two
still
games
on?
one weekend.
We're still live.
Awesome.
Yep. Somebody knows.
Oh,
Equipment list,
Lori, what do we need to do?
Lori.
or do you
Yeah,
have
tripods.
plenty of?
I don't got
Oh,
tripods.
there's nothing we're gonna really
But-
get camera.
I don't know how to turn that off.
Tripod. No, I mean, it'll
It
fall
says
right.
to wait a
Oh,
minute.
yeah.
Huh? It says to wait a minute to stop it, so that's why I'm
Oh.
waiting.
I
Okay,
thought you meant if you were trying to.
Yeah, we
do
have a
the
bunch of
handheld.
tripods
okay,
down there, and,
Oh, thank you.
as long as they're good ones.
yeah, well, I don't know how good they are, but they'll hold the camera. This camera is really light. Do you want these extra copies?
Yeah, keep it
back?
handy. Yeah, probably want to take them,
I ought to take them, but
You
don't
don't
want
want them.
huh? Recycle.
let the cat play with them. Let's see.
I got yours. All right.
I've gotta turn that camera off before we
The
turn all the lights out.
You're out back, right?
Yes, I am.
Watch that flyer.
Thank
Walk
you,
right
because
into
I
it.
am a little
Oh, man.
klutzy.
All right, see ya.
Let's see.
In a while.
This